Hello, hello. What do you mean I got the wrong time? Oh, scheduled for 3:30. My bad. Well, I'm live now anyway. What time's the quali on? 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. We got the right time. I think it was initially scheduled for 3:30, but I'm here. I'm here. I was always going live at past. The quali starts in half an hour. Hey Nero, good to see you, mates. Welcome, welcome. Right. Thank you, Ollie. I love your kind words, as always. Yes, welcome everyone who's going to be on pole position. A very important qualifying coming up, guys. And I'm trying to channel some good luck for Ferrari. Okay? I'm trying to channel some good luck. It didn't work in Miami, but hopefully it works here. If they do terrible here, I may have wasted my money on this shirt. No, I'm lying. It's still a good shirt. It's still a good top. I still like it. But yes, hopefully you are hunkered down. You've got your snacks. You've got your drinks ready, because this is going to be one to keep an eye out on for sure. So, yes, Piastri is overwhelmingly your favourite at the moment. Of course, the man in form. Three race wins in a row now, or is it 4? 4 race wins this year. China, Bahrain, Saudi, Miami. 3 race wins in a row. 4 out of 6 for Oscar. Can he make it 5? Of course. Putting yourself in pole position will definitely give you an advantage, that's for sure, at a circuit which is tricky to overtake at. So it's going to be really important here. Now, personally, and it's very rare that you'll hear me say this on this channel for those long-time viewers, I actually want Max Verstappen to take pole. Yes, I do. I want Max Verstappen to be on pole position, because I do think, as I said numerous times earlier on in FP3, oh, we've got no sound. We've got sound. Don't scare me like this. Don't scare me like that. You can hear me. I know you guys can hear me. Surely you can hear me. I can see my audio thing going up. So, oh, hate it. Don't scare me like that, guys. Otherwise, I'd have to repeat everything that I was just saying. So, let me start that again. I want Max Verstappen to be on pole position. Yes, you heard me correctly. Because I think it's the only way we get an interesting race tomorrow. I think if McLaren lock out the front row, I believe it may be a bit of a boring race. Could be wrong. But yes, that's what I think. So, mainly because I think Max's tyres in the race, he's going to struggle with them again, potentially. And that will allow us to have an overlap of tyre delta, where the McLarens will be able to go on the attack on Max, which should make things interesting. So he will play the papaya, graze the gravel and grass come race day. Well, exactly. That's why we want him out up front. If he's having to chase the McLarens, we know the McLarens in clean air are just going to drive off, especially with this tyre advantage they've got at the moment. So, but no worries, Taco. Good luck, mate. Hopefully you don't crash out. I'd love to be doing some sim racing. I'd love to do the F1 race tonight, but I'm meeting up with some friends who are already on their way out. So, but I'm starting. I've got the rum and coke. I've got not sponsored. Kraken glass. Kraken, sponsor me. Give me free rum. Reboot, fix sound. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. But yeah, no, really interesting. You did mention it's another track here, guys, where the starting grid, the inside line, which we know with the racing rules at the moment, the inside car has all the power. The inside line is in turn 2. So It is a bit of a run down to turn 2, so it's not the be-all and end-all. The first place does have an opportunity to come over and cover off the inside. But it is another track where the inside line is to the inside, is to the second place car, not P1. So, yeah, even more pressure on P1 to get a decent start so that they can come over and cut off the nose pretty much of P2. Hey Ben, good to see you, mate. A drawback to going to Miami GP was you missed these watch-alongs. I know, man. That's my thing. Is I'd love to go to F1. There's a possibility I could be going to an F1 race this year. I'm not going to say which one it is because I actually don't know myself, but there is a possibility I could be. If there is, then that's the thing. I wouldn't be able to do these watch-alongs, which I love doing. So, but then again, it'd be my first ever F1 race, so you got to kind of like take it all in your stride, don't you? Can Williams get P5 or P6? I think so, no. So qualifying today, as we've seen through FP1, 2 and 3, the C6 tyre, qualifying is going to be really intriguing because the C6, so it is the quickest tyre, but it's not a tyre you can push on through every sector. You have to compromise some lap time somewhere if you want to ensure you've got the grip in the last sector. So how many are going to go to the medium compound, which is the soft tyre of last year? I think we could see quite a few try that, especially those who maybe don't expect to get through to Q2 or Q3. I think we could see the we could see the medium compound tyre used by a few of the lower down teams just to ensure they kind of gain a bit of track position, especially at a track which is really difficult to overtake. Now, what was really intriguing, actually, is that listened to James Vowles be interviewed on Sky after we ended the stream. And he said something really interesting. Now, I've mentioned numerous times that this track is always a one-stop race. Now, the reason why it's primarily a one-stop race at Imola is the pit stop loss time is the longest on the calendar. It's like 27 to 30 seconds, so a considerable amount of time to try and make up out on track, especially with a track being difficult to overtake. It's just not really a viable solution to give up that time because you don't make it back on fresh tyres out on track. So, but what James Vowles was saying is that the majority of the teams, well, every team has held back 2 hard compound tyres, which he says really kind of maybe indicates for, he didn't even really give an insight into his own team, but he said it really gives you a bit of an insight into where the teams are thinking the strategy may be on Sunday. Like they still don't know if it may potentially be a 2-stop strategy here, which would be very intriguing for us because Imola is never a 2-stop strategy. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that is the case. But that's definitely what the teams are. They're holding back the hard tyres for that potential. Good to be back for another great stream. Papaya12, George P3 and your quality predictions. Ooh, George P3. Well, we were struggling. The Mercs were struggling a little bit. I think we could really see a bit of a change up of the order here. I think we could see a proper mixed up grid. My top 5. I'm going to say Lando's finally going to hook it up. He's going to have P1. He's going to pit Piastri to P1, and it's going to be a front row lockout. I hope it isn't. No, actually, I'm going to will it. As I said, I want Max on pole. So I'm going Max pole position. I'm going Max pole. He's going to do it again. And he's going to provide us some drama tomorrow. Lando's going to be P2 with Oscar P3. And then we're going to see... Oh, who's going to be close behind? I'm going to go one of the Williams, you know. I think one of the Williams. I'm going to go Sainz. I think Sainz is going to put in a stonker of a lap here. And I think he's going to be on the second row. I really do. I think even Pierre Gasly might be up there in the top 5. I really do think that's what we could see. I'm not confident in Ferrari. I have low expectations. But I hope that I am pleasantly surprised by their performance here in qualifying. So, yeah. Mercedes also don't look that too good. They don't look at the races here. But we know George is a decent qualifier. We know Antonelli is a decent qualifier as well. But they've both looked off of it. But practice is only practice. So, yeah. Maybe the reason most voted for Oscar is because of the recency bias. This is not a knock on Oscar. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a very long season, and recency bias is a real thing in F1. So with social media and so forth. But you also have to look, I think there's fair reason as to thinking why Oscar will be on pole position, because he's made the least mistakes out of the two McLaren drivers, isn't he, of recent. So, yeah. You appreciate the bold forecast. Yeah, look, Anthony, I always try and base some logic around my forecasts and my predictions. You know, they're just that. They're just predictions. Could be completely way off the mark, but at least try and base my predictions off of the data that I've seen across the weekend thus far. We're in the Ferrari shirt and saying you don't believe they have much this weekend. I know, lab. Well, I paid good money for this, so I'm getting my money's worth. These things don't come cheap. Our expectations for Ferrari are already low, but hopefully they are good. Now, I did hear also from Ted Kravitz, which was interesting, that he was saying Ferrari in particular, so they think they can get on the second row. Front row, they believe, is just a McLaren lockout. Like, if McLaren do a half-decent job, they should be on the front row, just because of the advantage they've got on their tyres. And for Ferrari, they were saying, like many, they've just got a very small window of operation. They really need to get that set up, like really fine-tuned, which is difficult to do. And if they do it, then they'll be able to get that car on the second row, be the second fastest car here this weekend, they believe. But it's just tricky for them to do. So F1 merch takes like £6 to make it to sell. I know, Extreme, but I know. I mean, to be fair, it is actually one of the better quality tops that I've got in my wardrobe, believe it or not. Yeah, the quality of tops now these days isn't great, but yeah, I don't mind. Considering I don't buy merch on the regular, I didn't mind the one-off purchase. Oscar or Max will get pole. Norris is just crybaby in a rocket ship. Ooh, bold words for Lando. Well, I still stand by my assessment that I do think Lando is still on raw pace. I do think he still has the edge over Oscar. But where Oscar has the advantage over Lando, quite evidently, is that he makes the least mistakes. And to be a world champion, you have to not make mistakes. And that's what Max Verstappen has in abundance. He's so consistent, like he rarely makes mistakes. And that's where you've seen him just be so dominant over the previous years. There's only like you could probably count on one hand the amount of mistakes Max has made in the last 5 seasons. So yeah, whereas Lando, you can count on more than 2 hands how many mistakes Lando's made in the last 2 seasons, this season and the last season alone. So it's that's something that if he wants to be world champion, he has to cut out, because Oscar he's got the pace. He's only just slightly behind Lando, I think, in raw pace. I think if Lando hooks everything up, he does have the better of Piastri. But Piastri, over a 24-race season, consistency is key. It's king. And he's got such a calm head on his shoulders that with the pace that he has, he'll easily win the World Championship. So, can the track order change in second half of the season? Can anyone stand up to McLaren domination like they did Red Bull last season? It's tricky. I think the only team who can truly challenge McLaren this year is Red Bull. Because I think, unfortunately, we have a regulation change. Fortunately or unfortunately, we have a regulation change next year. And we know that a lot of the teams have already put a lot of resource, if not all their resource, into developing next year's car. And what that means is that they're not going to spend time and money on making or improving this year's car. So Ferrari is already a write-off for this season for the championship. Yes, they're still trying to develop, but they're trying to do that so that they at least win some races this year. They don't want a winless season because it doesn't look good. Everyone's still fighting for their jobs at the end of the day. If Fred Vasseur doesn't win a race this season in Ferrari, then he could be on the chopping block, you know, and so could many engineers and so forth. So they still want to win races. And they don't want to end this season winless. But realistically, the constructors is out of the question. I believe so, even with a long way to go, because purely the development is not going to be consistent throughout the year from all of the teams. The only team that will do that, I think, is Red Bull, purely because they have Max's ongoing, like, they want to keep Max happy at the end of the day. They can't give up on this season because if they do, then Max is just going to get the ump, his camp's going to get the ump, and then it's with that performance clause in his contract, if he's not in the top 2 by the summer break, like, he could potentially leave on a free. So I think there's still aspirations there and intention for Red Bull to continue developing this season, which, as a fan, that's good for us because it will keep Max, hopefully, and Red Bull keeping McLaren on their toes and not rested on their laurels. But fortunately, what we do have, and hopefully it does happen sooner rather than later, we do at least have 2 drivers who are fighting for their first world title, who hopefully will go to wheel and will battle each other. And even if Red Bull fall to the wayside, Mercedes, Ferrari, we have those 2 fighting it out for a world championship to keep us occupied. So, yeah, that's my feeling on this season. If it was last season, then of course the teams will continue to keep developing, and there's more of a higher percentage chance of the order being mixed up. But I think McLaren will continue to be at the top. I think they'll win the Constructors easily because Tsunoda isn't going to be on Max's level come the end of the season, even with improvements to the car. So, David, no problem whatsoever. You didn't disturb my lunch, mate. You didn't disturb my lunch. I hope that was I hope that was kind of on my basic knowledge of tyres. I hope that was you understood that. So yeah, not gonna lie. Looking at the developments for the new regs, Red Bull might be a midfielder. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who truly knows? The problem with Red Bull is that they've got Ford, a new engine partner, who Ford haven't made a Formula 1 engine in years. In so many years. So that's a big risk factor for them. And look, they've lost influential personnel around the aero side of things. So yeah, it's a tall order for them. And I mean, it's smart of Max Verstappen and his camp to look elsewhere, because I would have serious question marks if I was Verstappen. And of course, they know more about the inner workings and mechanisms of how the 26 regs are looking for them, the development wise. And yeah, they that's probably a potential reason as why they're looking elsewhere. It's not just for this season, but maybe it's not looking good behind closed doors. Did I see the SF25 Lego advert was mental? Wish they put that much effort into building a car. Hey, Stefano, are you talking about the big one? The big one. But anyway, we have live data. We are ready to rock and roll, guys, with just over 10 minutes, just over 11 minutes until this Q1 session gets underway. Don't forget that the Red Bull powertrains is the ex-Honda tech. Ford do a huge amount in electrics and hybrid recovery racing. That's true. No, that is true. I mean, you would expect a company like Ford, who has motorsport pedigree as well, to be able to create an engine. Same as with Audi. But F1's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? So we'll see. You reckon you need a new F1 car in iRacing? Bring it back to life? Yes, it's way overdue. Yeah, it's way overdue. There needs to be a new F1 car in iRacing, yeah, for sure. The W13, look, it's still good fun to drive because it's the fastest car on the platform, but it needs a new one. The W13 was the first car of the new reg, of this current regs. We've had 3 more iterations since then. It would be great if we got that, but I mean, iRacing has a very close partnership with Ferrari now, so hopefully Ferrari will think about it, about adding their car to the platform. But I don't think we're going to get a new F1 car on iRacing until maybe 2026. So you hope Ferrari will win the Constructors this year. I tell you, if the Ferrari win the Constructors this year, it will be a massive turnaround, a massive turnaround for them. I'd be very surprised, but look, they pushed for it last season, didn't they? But I just don't see them, as we said, with them directing resource and money and so forth onto 2026. I just don't see this year's car already being this far behind, closing that gap enough to the McLaren. So, humid Thailand in 8:69 p.m. 69 p.m. It's only 60 minutes in, 8:59. Probably 8:59. Good to see you, Rod, as always. You think Mercedes will win the Constructors? You think Mercedes will win the Constructors this year? Bold statement as well. I mean, will they? I don't think Mercedes is still bringing up updates, but yeah, I think that they've been behind this whole regulation set. I just don't think they're going to put a lot of resource, time, and money into this year. They'll just pick up a couple of race wins if they can. But yeah, it's going to be more. It's all about 2026, isn't it? So just got over 100 likes. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, that's good, guys. That's good. That's a good ratio. 400 and odd viewers here with over 100 likes. Keep them going. Keep them going. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated as always. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. I did look earlier, actually, by the way, guys, because we had a discussion about providing F2, F3 watchalongs and F1 Academy watchalongs, and I have seen that there is timing data available. There is a timing tower available that I may test out next time F2's on, which may be next weekend. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how that works. Be more of a chilled one, I guess, because there's no track map for me to commentate on. But I'll be able to watch the TV coverage and look at the timing screens and so forth, and provide that to you guys potentially. So we'll see if we can make that work. Said in the team, AS said in the team principal press conference that McLaren have concentrated on the basics to reduce tyre heat. Does it mean old school grip, not aerodynamic grip, is the answer. So they have been focusing just purely on just tyre temperatures. That's pretty much it. So in relation to aerodynamic grip, it's I don't think it's not so much to do with the aerodynamics. It's purely just to do with managing the temperatures in the tyres so they're not overheating. So they've got a clever brake drum system, housing system, which is supposedly they've got materials. Oh, you guys gave me the technical term for it. They've got materials inside the car, inside the brake drum, which kind of they manipulate or whatever. But they're basically able to redistribute the heat as they see fit. They're able to set up the car in the manner that they want, and they're able to really control those tyre temps, and that's why they're able to make these. They're able to go faster for longer, and that's where the other teams are struggling at the moment. Which not coincidentally, but funnily enough, is where the Red Bull strength was in the early years in this reg set, was that they were just able to go faster for longer because they were able to manage those tyre temps so much better than everyone else. Did I see the statement Hamilton said about his career and his World Driver Championships? I didn't, Extremely. What did he say? Wearing a Ferrari t-shirt, but mate, they have the best drivers on the grid and still can't use them. You can have the best driver pairing on the grid, but if you don't provide them the car, good luck. Good luck. You had a 42,688 subscriber for Stuffeyy. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Keep them coming, guys. Keep the subscribers coming. Two races next week don't count. What was next week? We got F2 next week, haven't we? Is there free racing at Monaco as well next week? We could have a busy weekend if we do that. Hey Gavin, good to see you, mates. Missed FP3. No worries. Not too much to write home about, to be honest with you. The only real thing was that the McLarens looked very good on the soft compound tyre. They were the only team that were really able to take that tyre a whole lap without sacrificing some time somewhere, even though they still had a few wobbles. And this is a track that, if you're on the limit, there could be some issues here. We've already seen a few spins, haven't we? We saw Bortoleto have that exact issue with those tyres giving way at the end of the lap on FP1. We saw Isaac Hadjar and Liam Lawson have identical spins covering too much curb through turn 3. So the RB car running quite low there, and as it comes off the curb, it bottoms out and spins the car as they get back on throttle. That brake tech sounds amazing for NASCAR, IndyCar. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it eventually makes its way into other motorsports series. But yeah, whatever they're doing is, the FIA have approved it. It's innovation. It's innovative. It's nothing to do with, there's nothing untoward going on, basically. So, thank you, Dowdy. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice top. It is a nice top. He said, Lewis Hamilton said, I have won 7 world titles. I have won more than any driver in history. I have to remind myself that I have done great things. There's a bit more, but yeah, and he addressed judgments and more. That's fair enough. Is that on the mental health bit that he spoke about? Because it's mental health week this week, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he has to. Lewis has always been someone who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's, I think, in the previous few years, he's struggled with his. He thinks he himself has been the problem, which to some extent it has been, but with this current set of regs, they just haven't suited his driving style. Simple as, really. Like, he's struggled with these bigger, bulkier cars. They're more laboured through the corners. He's struggled in particular with the tyres in this regulation set, getting them into the right window, especially in qualifying. That's why he's had poor qualifying. But then that's also been compounded by the issue of the car that he's had to drive over the last few years as well. And it's just, he's at the end of this regulation set where his confidence has just been completely shot. Simple as. So him in 2026 is going to be a new refresher for him, and hopefully he can he can build some confidence back up. Is wobble one of my favourite words? Is it? I don't know. I wanted to ask you this, guys, actually, because some of you guys did suggest some merch, and you said about putting some favourite sayings of mine on like mugs and shirts or whatever, and I can't think of phrases that I say on the regular. So is there anything that I say on the regular that I could put on could put on a t-shirt or a mug? Like, you guys listen to me, you need like people with different eyes and different ears, to hear what I say all the time. No, Max hate t-shirts. No, not at all. Not at all. Green light, green light. Well, while you guys do that, because we've got just a couple of minutes until qualifying starts, I'm going to top myself up. I suggest you guys do the same. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know the comments of what I say on the regular, and yeah, I'll something that I could put on a mug or a t-shirt. There we go. There we go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Because I am. I'm ready. Woo. Thanks for doing these streams. My pleasure, Matt. My pleasure. Hope you are enjoying them. Hope you enjoyed them. If you are enjoying them, hit the like button, guys, as always. We've got 1,000 viewers in here. Surely we can get 1,000 likes for this qualifying stream. We nearly have Q1 underway. I'm about to get your votes in for the poll. You have 30 seconds to get your poll. Who's going to be on pole position vote in? At the moment, it is Oscar Piastri, 42%, Norris, 20%, Verstappen, 24%, and because I only have 4 options, Ferrari or Mercedes, low down there with 14%, guys. Must be the water. You say Hamilton P8 a lot. Right. 6 seconds, guys. Get your votes in. 3, 2, 1. End poll. 42% say Piastri will be on pole position. Green light. Pit exit is open. Q1 for the Emilia-Romagna GP at Imola for potentially the last time, as Imola is out of contract this year. Who is going to be out in Q1. Is it going to be the usual suspects, or will we see a mixed up grid here? Now, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg and O'Connor all out on the soft compound tyre. That C6 tyre that we have seen for the first time here this weekend, as is Ollie Bearman. So will they be able to make that tyre last? Will we see anyone take a gamble and start on the medium compound tyre? Of course, they need to think about holding back those medium compound tyres, though, for the race tomorrow. We do know that teams have held back the 2 hard compound tyres, which were last year's mediums, as we are 1 compound softer than previous year. So hopefully that spices up the race for us tomorrow, because this is a track like Monaco, like Suzuka, where qualifying is super important. Tricky to overtake here, but we are hoping that with this increased softness of the compounds, a step softer, as I said, from last year, it provides us a bit of a mixed race tomorrow, and makes it a little bit easier for overtaking to occur, or at least closer racing, because in the past it's been a bit of a procession here. Reckon they'll switch to mediums for Q3. We could see that, Billy. We could see that. Ferrari shirt today. I'm in the Ferrari shirt because I'm trying to bring them some luck, okay? Positive vibes, guys. What is my prediction for tomorrow's race? Well, we'll wait. I'll wait to give my predictions for tomorrow's race when we see what the grid is going to be tomorrow. Oh, right. Here we go, guys. Hulkenberg and Bortoleto are the drivers who are first across the line. Now, remember, last year's pole position was a 14.7. That is the lap time that we are kind of looking for, really. Track temperature is below 40 degrees. Will they be able to, on this softer compound, be able to get anywhere close to that? We've seen sub 15 seconds only twice here this weekend thus far, in the form of Norris and Piastri. But we have seen throughout this season thus far, on average, the cars be over a second quicker when it comes to that Q3 lap time. But let's keep an eye on Hulkenberg and Bortoleto. Of course, track limits is key here as well. There are a couple of corners, the Variante Alta chicane, which Hulkenberg has just gone through right now. Turn 9, also track limits. There can be violations there, as well as the last corner. So lots of corners where the drivers on the limit here need to keep it within the white line. Nico Hulkenberg, though, comes around the last Ravazza through turn 18, and what time is he going to set the first driver out of in Q1? And, well, it's a 17 flat, and that's not great. That's a very slow lap time, to be perfectly honest with you, as Bortoleto sticks 3 tenths on his teammate. So very slow there from Hulkenberg. He needs to improve, as Alonso, without the updates on the Aston Martin here this weekend, goes 2 tenths quicker than his teammate through the first sector. Lance Stroll, purple in the middle, though. Alonso takes that away from him, and on average, Alonso is 4 tenths up. 2 tenths a sector Alonso is on his teammate with those updates. But Alex Albon, the Williams, keep an eye out on those two today. They are expecting to get into Q3 and maybe sneak a few extra positions potentially on the Mercedes and the Ferraris, as they've looked strong in free practice, as Albon goes fastest in the first sector. Hamilton fastest in the middle sector, but he's a couple of attempts down on the Williams in the first sector, as Alonso sets a 16.238 and goes 5 tenths quicker than his teammate. Unbelievable there from the old man, or the rookie as people like to call him. Sainz goes P2, slower than Alonso there. Bit of a slow last sector from him, as Hamilton goes only second fastest. What the hell was that lap time from Fernando Alonso, everyone? Right there, as Hamilton goes to Hamilton. Purple in the middle and last sector, but he's not quick enough to get ahead of Alonso. Alex Albon, though, how does he go? Well, he goes to the top, and the top 3 are separated by less than a tenth. Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite interesting. As Verstappen is out there at the moment, and Charles Leclerc is on the lap. Let's see how Charles gets on. No purple sectors for Charles. He's 2 tenths down on Albon in the first sector, and, well, the second sector, he's also another tenth down. So the Ferrari's struggling on this early stages here in this qualifying session, as Charles only goes 5th fastest. 3 tenths back from Alex Albon and 2 tenths back from his teammate. Wow, that's not a good lap time. by any means at all. But let's see, Max Verstappen, he's the next driver we want to keep an eye out on as he's coming around the last couple of corners now. We've had those drivers, Esteban Ocon in P10, not a good lap from him, but really you expect the drivers here in these early stages to get at least down into the 15s. Track evolution, not really that big of a factor here. But it could be just a case of this C6 tyre not lasting the whole duration. But let's see what Max Verstappen can do. Can he bag another pole position here this weekend in the Red Bull that is predicted to struggle on its tyres, similar to what we saw in Miami? But we know track position is key at Imola, and he'll be looking to get ahead of those McLarens as he easily sets the fastest first sector out of anyone there. 3 temps currently on Alex Albon, the fastest driver in that first sector. So the Red Bull very quick. There's a yellow as Tsunoda's off. Oh no, Tsunoda through turn 6. He's struggled here this weekend. Is he in the barrier? Is this a red flag? Is he going against a red flag as Yuki does get going? I'm not sure if Yuki is going or not. Oh, it looks like he's stuck. Red for Yuki Tsunoda. And well, that has stopped a lap time for Max Verstappen. Now the timing screen, it will stop the session, unlike practice sessions, but Yuki Tsunoda is off here. I'm watching the TV coverage to see what has happened. He has been struggling here this weekend, and well, that is going to be Yuki Tsunoda out of Q1. Oh my goodness, the car is ruined. Oh my god, that is a big hit for Yuki Tsunoda. Every wheel is damaged. The front right, oh my goodness, that is a fair old whack there. He has lost control of the car big time. High speed crash. I think Yuki is okay. He's still in the car. He is moving. Yuki is okay. He is getting out of the car. He is safe. But every wheel is damaged. Every side of that car is damaged. Oh my goodness, he is okay, ladies and gentlemen. He is okay. Not entirely sure what's happened, but that's happened on the entry to turn 5 and turn 6. And I no doubt he's probably just taken too much curb. The rear of the car has just lost control. He is okay, but that car, I will see if I can grab an image online for you to show the state of that car. But wow, that is. Oh, it's very rare that you see every car. It's very rare that you see every car damaged. Every side of the car damaged like that. Wow. So watching a replay now of Yuki. So what has happened to Yuki Tsunoda? He's on the entry to turn 5, and it's exactly as I predicted. He's covered too much curb over to the corner turn 5. And as we've seen throughout this weekend, with these cars running so... Oh my goodness, he flipped over. Oh my God. Yuki, very fortunate there. The car got caught on the catch fence, and he ended up right side up. Wow, a testament to the F1 cars today. Oh my goodness, the car got caught on the side of the wall on the catch fence, and it flipped itself back over front side the right way up. So that's why Yuki has that's why he's got damage on all sides there. Oh my goodness, that is big for Yuki Tsunoda. Let me see if I can just show you guys an image of what has happened there to Yuki Tsunoda. This is basically his car right now. Just a quick glance. There you go. That is that. Very quick there. Just go back and pause that because I don't want to get pulled for copyright reasons. But if you guys can go on Twitter and check what has just occurred there, unbelievable for Yuki Tsunoda. That was a... That's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. Oh my God. He didn't lock up. No, he didn't lock up. It's just, so as we saw with the 2 RB cars as they went through, so these curbs now are, they're kind of raised curbs. They're very inviting to be aggressive over. They no longer have the sausage curbs there. And the thing is, what has occurred now is that they're very inviting for these cars to go over. But of course, these cars are run low to try and maximise the performance. And he's just lost the rear. of the car. Very, very fast entry into turn 5. Arguably the fastest entry of any corner, other than maybe turn 9 on this circuit. And, well, it's a testament to the safety of these cars that Yuki has been able to get up and walk out of those. I will see if I can find a link for you of the actual footage itself. No doubt someone will be posting that on on Twitter right now. Let me see if I can find that. That is a fair old crash. Obviously, you've seen the images. So here we go. Hopefully, this is. So I am about to share this for you. How do I share this? Why can't I share that? Share. There we go. Copy link. Here we go, guys. Check this out. Check this. You should be able to see this. You should be able to see this, but this is what has just occurred with Yuki Tsunoda. I'm going to pin the message. You can check that out, and that is what has just happened. Oh. Going to be crowded for the last 12 minutes with everyone. Yes, it is. It's going to make QUALI very interesting. It's going to make QUALI very interesting right now, guys. So, yes, Yuki Tsunoda has brought out the red flag. If you're just tuning in right now, very early stages here. Max Verstappen was on a flying lap, but Yuki, on the entry to turn 5, grounded his car over the curb, too aggressive over the entry to turn 5. The fastest entry of any corner here on this circuit at Imola. And, well, what that has done, that sent his car into a flip. And he was fortunate that his car ended the right side up. The car is battered on each side. And, well, you can check the clip that has been linked to the top of my screen right there in chat. So, that was close to being a real disaster. It was, Jordan. But thankfully, with F1 these days, the safety, the catch fence, a real, I mean, that's a lot of work for Red Bull tomorrow. And, well, Yuki Tsunoda will be starting, no doubt, from the pit lane tomorrow at a circuit where it's nigh on impossible to overtake. Last year, Sergio Perez also started from the pit lane or from towards the back of the grid after a poor qualifying. So, yeah, the only way he's going to be able to help Max out tomorrow is if he stays out for very long, hopes for a safety car, and potentially holds up the McLarens like Perez did last year. For a whole lap, actually, but ended up being very influential in slowing down the charge of Lando Norris. So Yuki will be deployed, no doubt, in the same fashion tomorrow. But can't believe he walked away conscious. He walked away on his own 2 feet. No issue whatsoever. Just like a roller coaster. That looks like a dangerous accident. He seems to have lost a lot of speed quite fast. That makes it more likely he gets a concussion or internal injuries. Yeah, he'll be checked over, no doubt, in the medical centre after a crash like that. But the fact he was able to get out under his own steam and, walk away bodes very well for him. So he should be absolutely fine. But, yeah, that's a testament to F1 safety. I did find it very bizarre that each wheel was damaged. It's not often you see that. And his car flipping over and doing barrel rolls would explain why. So, yeah. This means Max lost a set of soft tyres. It does. Yes, it does. It's not good for Max Verstappen. It bodes well for Antonelli and Russell and Norris and Piastri because I think they'd only just started their laps or just coming out the pit lane. So, yeah, it bodes well for them. But this is going to put a lot of pressure with 12 minutes remaining for these drivers to get out, do an outlap, a slow outlap as well, because you don't want to go too quickly because you're going to just heat these very sensitive soft C6 tyres up and you're going to be a detriment for your overall flying lap. But for Max Verstappen, that's not ideal. But you do suspect that Max will have plenty in store to get him through Q1, that's for sure. There's already a place gone in the form of Yuki Tsunoda. So there's only 4 places now up for grabs, not being able to make it into Q2. So Flores just bottoming him out. You definitely lose your grip. Of course you will. What do you mean by lost? If they haven't done a push lap, they should still be okay, right? Yes, technically speaking, but these C6 tyres are so sensitive that any track time on these tyres is going to lose you grip. You're not going to be able to go as quick. Now, for Max, he's pushed for at least, I think he got round to turn 7, the exit of turn 7 by the time the red flag was thrown, because that's when Yuki crashed. He was right behind him. So Max has lost a considerable amount of time or grip on those tyres, but he should have plenty in store to get him through. The Red Bull mechanics are going to be doing overtime. They will be indeed. It's not been a while. It's not been long since that happened. He was complaining about the car earlier, Yuki. Yesterday afternoon was better than FP1. FP1, it's been a struggle for Yuki here this weekend. It has been. I expected... I named him as one of my drivers to keep an eye out on this weekend. But for hopefully the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. But yeah, watching the replay again of Yuki. So he's on the entry to turn 5, and it is just a great angle here, face on, of what he did. Yeah, and you can see it. He just covers too much curb. The car bottoms out as he comes off the curb. Of course, the car's very unsettled, as we saw with the two RB cars through turn 2 or turn 3, the curb of turn 3. And the curbs are so inviting now because they've removed the sausage curbs. And that's what we've seen. We've seen the rear become unsettled, and that's what happened to Yuki. So Max Verstappen was on his way to... Max Verstappen was on his way out of the exit of Acqua Minerale. He was through turn 12. So he'd already got halfway around his lap. So that's a substantial amount of life he would have taken out of those tyres. Oscar Piastri was just on his out lap as he just come out the pits as Yuki, the red flagger, came out. So, hey, 23, thank you for the €2. Much appreciated. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Cheers. Hope you're having a good Saturday. We are just in the middle of a red flag. If you're just tuning in, Yuki Tsunoda has lost control of the car, flipped over, and the car has flipped over. Thankfully, Yuki is okay, but that means he's going to be starting from the pit lane tomorrow. But thank you for the €2. Cheers, everyone. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Hit the like and subscribe button. We have over 2,500 of you, or 2,000 of you in here for qualifying. So big thank you as always. Let's get this stream to 1,000 likes, shall we? Ooh. Estimated time of resumption, 20 past. So that's 4 minutes time, guys. Less than 4 minutes. Yuki just can't have a pace earlier. FP3 Red Bull 21 doesn't have good grip. Not in his hands, no. But there is also something else to take note of. Yuki is not running the same updates as Max. He doesn't have the same package. The updates come to Max's car first. So there is always that to take into consideration. As well as, obviously, Yuki's still trying to get accustomed to the car. It's going to take him a while, isn't it? It's going to take him a while. So there's always that to take into consideration. But thank you for the subs, guys. Much appreciated. And the likes, as always. If you want to support the channel further, you can always join as a member and become a member of the pit crew. Or I am streaming live on Twitch as well. If you'd like to... says my average bit rate is too high, supposedly, on Twitch. So, hey-ho is what it is. But at least everything's okay here on YouTube. That was a monster crash. It was... I thought Yuki did actually get the upgrades today that Max got in Miami. He might have had them in. He might have had the ones from Miami, but they've also got further updates here in Imola as well, which are on Max's car. So, hey, King, good to see you. Maybe Imola isn't a safe circuit, if you know what I mean. No, it is. It is. There's always every circuit has the potential of high-speed crashes. Of course, it does. That's the nature of racing. That's the nature of F1. But yeah, it's just anyone could have had that crash, really, to be honest with you. We've seen lots of drivers be very aggressive over the curbs, have their moments. But, yeah, not many of them have... Oh, hang on a second. Esteban Ocon. Oh, we saw this be penalised. Esteban Ocon was at the end of the pit lane when it said estimated time of Q1. Estimated is the key word there. They've only just, in the last couple of seconds, announced Q1 will resume at 20 minutes past. So Esteban Ocon could be getting a penalty there. We saw that. Well, we saw that be a one-place grid penalty for George Russell, if you remember. I think was it Ocon or was it Gasly? I'm trying to see who's at the front there. I think is it Colapinto? I think it's Colapinto. Who's at the front here? We'll see in a second. I think it's Colapinto. But whoever's at the front of this pack at the end of the pit lane, I think that could be a one-place grid penalty. It's Colapinto. Yeah. It's Colapinto. So they've done exactly what George Russell did with Mercedes did, and he got a one-place grid penalty. So I think Colapinto is going to get a one-place grid penalty because of that... going out at the end of the pit lane on the estimated time of Q1 resumption rather than it will actually resume. So there's precedent for that now, of course. In Yuki slow-mo replay, grass strip in front of barrier lifted his car. Yeah. Love the Ferrari kit. Thank you. Yeah, it's a nice top. It's the Miami shirt. So, but this is going to be a very busy Q1, guys. We have just a minute or so until the session. Less than a minute until the session gets underway. And, well, we've really lost Yuki Tsunoda because of that big crash that he had into turn 5 that brought out the red flag, which is why we had a postponement of this session. As green light, pit exit is open. Here we go. It's going to be a very busy circuit. And, well, could we see a shocker? Could we see a driver who we don't expect to go out of this session? Remember, it's a tight circuit here. Impeding is a big factor at this circuit. We've seen penalties dished out for that in the past. But Colapinto, as we mentioned, is that confirmed as that Alpine driver who was at the end of the pit lane when it said estimated time of resumption, not the actual time. So, yes, that is what George Russell got a penalty for not too long ago. I can't remember what circuit it was, and Colapinto, no doubt, will be receiving the same, unfortunately. Funny, been watching along for a while now, but now just got TV F1 and watching. As soon as Yuki crashed, I came straight here for the red flag. Hey, Lee, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. How good has Colapinto been? Not that great, to be honest with you, but I don't have high expectations for him jumping straight into a car he's never driven before. Also, it's a Renault engine, Renault gearbox. Like, he's not familiar with that. He drove the Williams last year, which is all Mercedes equipment. So, yeah, very different set of circumstances for him. He needs just a solid weekend and not do what Yuki just did, pretty much. So, I love for when changed Ferrari fans aren't delusionally screaming Leclerc part. Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So, not as many jumping out there. I guess we've still got sufficient time. Not the longest track circuit here, or longest lap here. Incident involving Colapinto, yep, failing to follow race directions instructions. That's a slam dunk, one place grid penalty for Colapinto. So wherever he qualifies, he will be one place demoted. But let's stay on board with Colapinto, shall we, and see what the Argentinian driver can do in his first qualifying lap in the Alpine for 2025. Here we go, Colapinto. What can you do, buddy? Let's put that unfortunate circumstance behind you there where your team released you too early at the end of the pit lane. Let's see what you can do out on track, because that is ultimately what matters. So, Colapinto heading through the same corner where Yuki Tsunoda lost control of the car and brought out the red flag. He's navigated that safely as he heads into turn 7, and he does a 24.160 in the first sector. Very good lap, very good first sector there for him. That is for him 4th fastest, and Hulkenberg also improving there as well. So, the drivers are improving as his track temperature is maintaining at 39 degrees. Colapinto, though, through Aqua Minerale, houses his second sector time as he heads his way up into the chicane of Variante Alta here, turn 14 and 15, and it's a 26.3 for him in that middle sector, and that's pretty decent. That's on par pretty much with everyone who is at the top of the timing screens at the moment in the form of Albon, Alonso and Hamilton. So Colapinto going nicely here on this tyre, but we've not seen the C6 give way, lose its life at the end of a lap. So can Colapinto keep that tyre in that window, and has he got the grip to set a decent enough time here to get him out of Q1? And, well, his first qualifying lap in F1 this season is a 1:16.2, less than a tenth behind Alex Albon, and quicker, 0.02 of a second quicker than that of the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. So not too bad there for Colapinto as the Ferrari drivers are back out to start some laps as they begin their outlap here on the same set of tyres from earlier on, interestingly enough. Fernando Alonso is out on a brand new set of softs, so we'll keep an eye out on his progression. But who is on a lap at the moment? Who's starting a lap at the moment? Pierre Gasly is starting a lap as Liam Lawson goes up into P5 there. So let's keep an eye out on Pierre Gasly, shall we? We're expecting big things from here this weekend. He's looked very good in practice. FP3 was a bit of a outlier for him, but he looked very good yesterday. Let's see how the Frenchman gets on as he makes his way down into turn 5. Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. Can he put all of the hoo-ha, all of the drama off track to one side and just focus on the task at hand out on track? And, well, Gasly sets a 24 flat in the first sector. That's good from him. As Alex Albon improved his lap there, by the way, a 1:16.1 on that same set of tyres he initially set that lap. So track is improving a bit here as Sainz goes to the top of the timing screens. Our first time here under 1:16 seconds. Max Verstappen going for another lap as well. Let's see how he gets on. Of course, he went purple in that first sector before Yuki Tsunoda crashed and brought out the red flag. Pierre Gasly green for him in the middle sector, of course, without him setting a time yet. So 26.334. And that puts him full fastest and ahead of his teammate, who is in P5 at the moment, as Alonso goes purple in the middle sector, the Aston Martin. He is on a brand new set of softs, though. So you do expect him to go quicker as Gasly goes to the top of the timing screens, as we predicted. But Max Verstappen has gone 2 tenths quicker than he did in that first sector run before the red flag came out. So Max Verstappen flying here at the moment. And, of course, the McLaren drivers are yet to set a lap. As Norris and Piastri are starting their laps right now, actually, as Norris makes his way down to turn 5 and turn 6. We'll keep an eye out on their progression. But Max Verstappen, interestingly, not as quick as Fernando Alonso in the middle sector. Only a couple of hundredths there, but interesting there that the Red Bull not completely wiping the floor of Fernando Alonso, who doesn't have those updates on that car. Antonelli at his home circuit up into P3. Hamilton needs to put in a decent time as George Russell only goes second fastest. Fernando Alonso, previous winner here, of course, all those years ago, fighting Michael Schumacher to the end, is in P2, but he's just had half a second dunked on him by Max Verstappen there. A great lap from Max Verstappen, a 15.1, fastly approaching the pole position lap time of last year, as Charles Leclerc only goes 7th, 9 tenths back. That is poor. Very, very poor there. And Lewis Hamilton's also similarly going just as quick as his teammate and goes P9. Very, very poor lap times there from the Ferraris. Come on, Ferrari. Unbelievable. Lando Norris, though, goes P5 as well. 7 tenths back. Interesting that Max went so quick there compared to everyone else. As Oscar Piastri through the last corner here, how is Oscar Piastri looking? Well, he's not going to go to the top of the timing screens, it seems, unless he's had a very good last sector. Let's see how he gets on, Oscar Piastri, and he goes P2, 3 tenths back. So Max Verstappen has put a considerable amount of time there in Q1 over the rest of the field. That's very intriguing. At the moment, it looks like we could be losing Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Behrman, and Ocon. Of course, Yuki Tsunoda is already out because of that big crash, which he has safely walked away from out of turn 5 and brought out the red flag earlier. But that's very intriguing. The gaps there, particularly for the 2 Ferrari drivers, and pretty much the majority of the field. Max has put a considerable amount of time there on the rest of the, especially the McLarens, especially Lando. I'm not sure if Lando had a wobble somewhere. Just watching the TV coverage to see if maybe he did. Maybe, I don't know if he caught traffic. It's the nature of Imola. It could be that simple case. I do suspect that gap with Lando and Piastri means that they didn't execute their laps perfectly. But it is only Q1. It's just about getting through. It's just about getting through. Can I change my shirt into that of a McLaren? I know, I'm sorry. I won't be wearing this again if they don't make it into Q3, Ferrari. But yes, that is it at the moment. That is it at the moment. We still have 4.5 minutes remaining. We will see another run here from the teams. And they will go quicker, no doubt, as they put on a brand new set of tyres. But let's have a look at the sector leaderboard at the moment, guys. As you can see here, Max Verstappen fastest in the first sector. He's not fastest in the second, but he's only third fastest by a couple of hundredths there, as you can see. And he's fastest in the last sector. So Max did very well to keep his tyres in a very decent window in that last sector. But that first sector at the moment is where he has the advantage. So I'm watching Lando. Yes, Lando went off. He got on throttle too early and he went over the grass through turn 7. I know how that feels, Lando, because I've done that plenty. Oh, he had a snap of oversteer, actually. That's why he mid-corner oversteer as he got on throttle out of turn 7. Maybe because the Aston Martin was ahead of him. Oscar Piastri also... Oh, no, sorry, that's Oscar Piastri. He also did the same. So, yeah, you see the dirty air. Even though these F1 cars are kind of plodding around, even when the car... They still throw off enough sufficient dirty air with how finely tuned these F1 cars are to unsettle them. So, yeah, both McLarens went off at turn 7. So that's why they are so far back from Max Verstappen. Lando went off more than Oscar Piastri, so that's where they lost a lot of their time. But Max is a lot quicker through that first sector at the moment than that of the McLarens. So we'll see if that is a trend that continues throughout this qualifying. But with 3 minutes remaining, the McLarens are back out there. There are no doubt going to be improvements here. Track evolution, I didn't think it was going to be that much of a factor here, but it does seem like it is, as the track does seem to be getting a bit quicker, as the track temperature is also dropping as well. 37.7 degrees at the moment compared to 39, just below 40 at the start of this Q1 session. My pleasure, guys. Thank you for the kind words, as always. If you are liking this watch-along and this commentary, please continue to hit the like button. Let's get this stream to 1,000 likes, shall we? Over 3,000 of you in here at the moment. Big thank you, as always. Bringing more content your way. The more subscribers we get, the closer we can get to making this full-time and bringing you guys much more content. Potential F2, F3 and F1 Academy watch-alongs coming as well. So, yeah, big thank you. Been a long time for Ori Tifosi and wanting to see them get some race pace. Not a good season for the prancing horse. Not at the moment, Glenn. Not at the moment. But let's stay tuned with Oscar Piastri, as Nico Hulkenberg has been noted for an unsafe release as he's currently in the drop zone in P16. But let's stay tuned with Lando Norris. They're not comfortable with this lap at the moment. He is on the same set of tyres. This is his third attempt at this lap. I mean, well, He's second attempt, actually. It's his second push lap because the previous couple of laps he'd done was with that red flag. They got caught when they was on their out laps, the McLaren. So let's see if Lando's going to be able to improve here. You do suspect they will be able to because if they just keep it within track limits, they will be able to do that. But Lando, 24.053 in the first sector. So that's only 10th fastest for Lando in the first sector. So not particularly great from the McLaren driver as Piastri does go a little bit quicker in that first sector. Max Verstappen, though, look at 29 points. Ignore Max's laps there. That's sector times because he's in the pit lane. Apologies. But Piastri there is just slightly slower. He goes fastest in the middle sector there, so good from Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris is down 2 tenths in the middle sector. It is green for him, but it's not going to be quick enough to what Piastri is able to do at the moment, as Norris is going to improve here, but only by a couple of hundredths of a second as he goes into P5. So Lando Norris way off the pace at the moment as Oscar Piastri has backed out. Oscar Piastri has backed out, and no doubt that's probably due to a big wobble or a dip of the wheels through the gravel through the chicane, because he looked okay through up into turns 14 and 15 Variante Alta. So no doubt that's a wobble there for Oscar Piastri. But at the moment, yeah, you can see Oscar Piastri track limits at turn 15, so that's why he slowed down. But look at everyone trying to get around the pushing here in the last couple of corners to try and start their lap. They've got 20 seconds until they can start their lap here. This is going to hurt a few drivers as we currently have Behrman, Ocon, Hulkenberg and Lawson in the drop zone as Liam Lawson has just started his lap. We'll see how he gets on. Isaac Hadjar, there's a yellow flag as Colapinto is off! Colapinto is off, and this could be a late red flag, and to the detriment of Liam Lawson, Hulkenberg, Ocon and Behrman here. They could be out, and Colapinto, the driver we said just needs to keep it clean here this weekend. He has 5 potential races as Stroll moves up into P4. We've seen the medium compound tyre used for the first time. The yellow flag is a red flag, a second red flag at Q1, and Colapinto, oh, there were concerns about him keeping it clean. That's all we needed to do. Concerns about him being crashy, and well, he has lost control of the car and brought out the red flag. That's the third driver we have seen lose control of the car here this weekend at Tamburello, turn 2, 3, and oh my goodness, another big crash. The Argentinian, the front right of his car is splayed out everywhere across the gravel. Oh, that suspension is not supposed to be facing upwards, ladies and gentlemen. It is supposed to be horizontal and attached to the front right wheel. And, well, it is unbelievable there. I'm just looking at the dust settling. You can barely see the car itself. It's another high-speed crash. Not as big of a crash as Yuki Tsunoda. Less damage probably to repair for the Alpine team, but not a good start for Colapinto. I said he just needs to keep it clean. He needs to keep himself out of trouble. And what has he done? The front end, both front wheels are I mean, the front right is gone. It's disappeared. The front left is bent inwards. And yes, let's see exactly how he has lost control of that car. I do presume it's similar to the RB cars where he has covered too much curb through turn 3. The rear is unsettled and, well, he has lost control of the car. It's gone round into a spin and he is out. But with that red flag, ladies and gentlemen, there is no time remaining to set a lap. And we have lost Bortoletto, Liam Lawson, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda with the previous red flag. And Will Colapinto, with those changes, no doubt that will have to be occurred to his team as who had a lap time deleted there? Ollie Behrman has his lap time deleted. That promotes Bortoletto into Q2. Wow. Very, very late there, but Ollie Behrman has had his lap time deleted, and that is why he is down into P19 now. And so we've lost Lawson, Hulkenberg, Ocon, and Behrman, and Yuki Tsunoda. So watching the replay of Colapinto, let's see exactly what occurred. So as he heads down into the first corner, entry. First corner's okay. Second corner, oh no, he actually carries too much speed, and on the exit of turn 3, he dips a wheel into the grass, pure driver error, and it sends the car around into a spin. So he does actually get a little bit of oversteer off the exit of turn 3 curb, but he controls it. But because of that, he runs a little bit wide and dips the front left onto the grass and dirt. It sends him into a high-speed spin, and that's why his front end is now battered and he is out and brought out this late red flag, which puts a spanner in the works for Liam Lawson in particular, because he was on a flying lap. So Liam Lawson has been caught out there. Isaac Hadjar also fortunate to get through. You could argue that Lawson should have done a quicker lap time previously anyway. But yes, that means we've lost Lawson, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman and Yuki Tsunoda there. Unbelievable. Foster, thank you for becoming a member again and extending your membership. Much appreciated. And Kaka, 30 months. Wow, 30 months, man. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And anyone else who has continued to subscribe and like, much appreciated. And followers on Twitch as well. I know that I've had some followers on Twitch. So big thank you, everyone. Oh, what an interesting... You guys earlier on went, will there be a red flag? Well, we've seen 2. We've seen 2 in quali. Unbelievable. 2 big crashes. But Colapinto, man. Crasher Pinto. See, this is the thing. Colapinto, Jack Doohan crashed. But Colapinto, in his first race weekend of the year, just needed to keep it clean. Wow, Kaka, thank you for gifting 1 member. Ted, say thank you, buddy. Say thank you. Much, much appreciated. Thank you for the subs flying in, by the way. Do I have some free subs remaining? I think I have some free subs to give out, by the way, guys. I'll see that. Bear with me right now. I can share that with you. I think I can share that with you. Surely I can. I do. There we go. I have some gifted members for you. There you go. There you go. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone who's been afforded a free membership there. Cheers everyone. Cheers. Welcome, welcome. And if you want to support the stream as well, you can join as a member. But, yeah, big thank you to everyone tuning in. As always, over 3,000 of you. 500 likes here right now. If you could hit the like button, it'd be much appreciated. Let's get this stream to over 1,000 likes, shall we? But yes, Q2 will be delayed due to that crash of Colapinto very late on. They need to repair the barrier and clear the debris of that Alpine car down into turn 4. But yeah, driver error there from him. Just covered too much curb through turn 3. And because of that, the rear was a little bit unsettled. He got on throttle a bit too early, of course, trying to push there at the end to try and make it out of Q1. And, well, he dipped a left rear tyre onto the gravel, onto the dirt, which is on the exit of turn 3. And it sent his Alpine car into a spin. So yeah, let me see if I can find something for you guys. Hang on. No doubt there will be. No doubt there will be. Thank you for everyone following me on Twitter, by the way. Much appreciated. I don't tweet as much as I probably should do. It's because I get everything I need to say out on the on these streams. Let me see here. So here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. There we go. So you've seen Yuki's, and well, this is Colapinto's that has brought out that very late red flag, the pinned message. You can go check that out. Where's everyone in from Essex? Oh, good old Essex lad. But yes, as well, unfortunately, what will happen with Colapinto is that he was already going to get a penalty, a grid place penalty, because they released him too early to the end of the pit lane. So unfortunately for him, whether they're able to get that car repaired, he is at best going to be starting 15th. But I do suspect where damage occurred to that Alpine, he will be starting from the pit lane. So not a very good start from him. Of course, he'll be looking to try and make some headway at a difficult circuit to overtake, but not a good start to his F1 career. I think Flavio Briatore may be asking for some more money from his sponsors in relation to that crash. Hey Glenn, good to see you. When's the restart? It just says it will be delayed for now. We don't have an actual restart time, so we will see. As Leclerc and Piastri noted for failing to follow the race director's instructions, maximum delta time. Oh, we know that's never penalised anyway. So why is Doohan not in this session? Because he was replaced by Colapinto, who has just crashed. So make of that what you will. Doohan is coming back. F1 Twitter account says Ollie made it and Gabriel is eliminated. I mean, let's see. There's nothing to state, actually, that his lap time was deleted. So I don't know what happened there. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Behrman may be through. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's nothing to state that he was promoted. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they think his lap time actually wasn't. Maybe he didn't make it through. I don't know. Maybe it was really close. Maybe it was really close. So just listening to the TV coverage now to see exactly what happened. So Ollie Behrman. Oh, no way. Where did the red flag come out? Oh, no way. Oh, my God. Ollie Behrman is literally a car's length away from the checkered. Oh, he's. Oh. Oh, he's like a few car lengths away. Literally 2 car lengths away. From the line. From the line. And when did it come out? Oh, he's a bit more than a couple of car lengths, but he's probably like 5 car lengths away from the line before the red flag came, as the red flag came out, and he's unfortunately been removed from Q1. Q2, sorry. From Q1. Doesn't make it through to Q2. That's really unfortunate for Ollie Behrman. That's so unfortunate. He was comfortably through. He was comfortably through. But yes, we're Q2 will start at 16:46. So we have less than 4 minutes, guys. Just over 3 minutes. So these are the sector times. Yes, guys. Here are the sector times at the moment after Q1. So, Verstappen, fastest through the first sector at this moment in time. He has an advantage over, considerably over the McLarens, as you can see there. Oscar Piastri, P1 in Sector 2. Sector 3, Verstappen fastest again. So you can see how slow the Ferraris are there, by the way. Leclerc, 17th fastest in the first sector and the second sector. That is unbelievable there. The last sector, he's gaining a bit of time back. But wow, Ferrari, what are you doing? Charles, what are you doing? Unbelievable. Oof. How many minutes until Q2? Less than 2 minutes. Just over 2 minutes. Just over 2 minutes. 46 minutes past. You can see here, Q2 will start 46 minutes past the hour, guys. The shirt's ineffective, I know. It's not working. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tifosi. The cameramen are diabolical. I know. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't really... I'm not bothered about... I don't feel like I'm losing anything by not watching the TV coverage now these days, guys. And I guess that's why these watch-alongs are so popular as well. Not just mine, but everyone. But of course I want mine to be the most popular. Of course I do. But it's... I don't know. I feel like the TV direction is very poor these days, and you miss out on so much, and there's such a lack of information as well. I mean, why do they not show the delta time? Why do they not show the interval times at the start of a race? Like, the one thing that really bugs me is, like, why are you removing the timing tower of, like, where people's positions are at the start of a race? Like, the first couple of laps, they don't show it. It's like, that's where there's most changes for position. That's where I need to see where people have gained or lost positions on the first 2 laps. You know? Mind blown. Mind blown. So, yeah, that's why you tune into it. That's why I much prefer doing these watch-alongs for you guys, and I much prefer watching F1 races through this. So, start of Q2 will be delayed. It's being delayed even further, so they're not happy with the repair of that barrier, which Colapinto hit very hard into turn 4 there. So, no, Crofty's good. I like Crofty. I know people have, like... I think people just like to, because they've heard him for so many years, but I think it makes you realise, this is no disrespect to Harry Benjamin, who's commentating on Sky Sports right now. I think he's a good commentator, but I don't know, maybe because it's different, I don't know, but I feel like I do prefer Crofty. And everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but I think it makes you realise how good Crofty is and how maybe underappreciated he is. So, but ultimately... I'm better. If you can't big yourself up, who can you big yourself? Who can big you up, you know? Woke up and turned the stream on. Haven't even switched it on yet. Good, good. Rather listen to Martin. Jack better than Colapinto so far, yeah. You prefer my stream to watching TV? Thank you, guys. Thank you. But yes, we have a delay to Q2. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, where have you been? You've missed Q1. Well, what happened is that initially Yuki Tsunoda lost control of his car after covering too much curb through turn 5, the fastest corner entry on this Imola circuit. And, well, his car went into a barrel roll, quite an aggressive barrel roll, hit the catch fence and the barrier. Thankfully, it flipped back over to the right side up, and he was able to walk away unharmed. But that brought out a very early red flag around 12 minutes remaining of the session. Yuki Tsunoda out, as you can see, in P20. Then we had a couple of laps from the drivers, and, well, in the closing stages, Colapinto, who was on his last push lap, well, he ended up losing control of the car through turn 3. He had a bit too much curb on entry through turn 3. It unsettled the rear, and because of that, he dipped a left rear tyre onto the gravel, onto the dirt, and that sent his Alpine car into an aggressive spin and crashed into turn 4, bringing out a very late red flag, which put a spanner into the works in what I would say or about half of the field's really lap time. Liam Lawson, who was on a flying lap at the time, unfortunately. Ollie Behrman, who is now being under review. Okay, Ollie Behrman is now under review. Let's see, did he cross... Where is the start-finish line then? When that red flag came out, I'm intrigued to see. I need to check back on my own stream to see when Ollie Behrman actually crossed the line. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can check this out. So, this late red flag, where was Ollie Behrman when that red flag came out? Let's have a look. So, Ollie Behrman, he was flying here. He was coming around the last couple of corners. Where's it go? Oh, it's close, guys. It's close. It's definitely... Here we go. This is me, right? So, I know this looks a bit messy right now. But let's just go back 5 seconds. Here's Ollie Behrman, right? Here's Ollie Behrman. He's across the line. If that... He's across the line. He's across the line. The transponder is saying he's across the line. He's across. I think he's just made it. I think he's just made it. I know that looked very messy on stream. I apologise, but that's the only way that I could show it. So, yeah, I think he's across the line there on the transponder. So, you have Sky, but Stuffeyy F1 really. Cheers. I think he's just made it. It'd be very harsh. It'd be very harsh, but I mean that data there shows to me that he's made it. I'm trying to see if there's anything that states otherwise, but yeah. Big thank you to everyone tuning in, by the way. As always, guys, if you can hit that subscribe button, trying to hit. Can we hit 43,000 subs this stream? Can we do that? Can we do that? 250 of you in here. Have any of you not subscribed yet? Go on. You know you can. You got a checkered flag and then the red flag. Yeah, so I think... So the problem is, mate, I think the checkered flag may be a bit... So it's not... So the start grid line, there's two different... There's the start line... So where the race starts is like up here, and where the race ends is further back here. So this is not technically the start-finish line. This is the finish line. The start line is there. That's where they grid up. So I think that's where it looked like... I mean, it's so close, though. It's so close, but... Yeah. It's possible there's a delay between the red flag call and the track going red. That's true. We'll see. We'll see. But according to this data, this live F1 data, he's just across the line. So, I agree, Ron. Hit the like button. What's the difference between dirty air and slipstream? Oh, slipstream is when you're in the pocket of air where the dirty air is avoiding. So the dirty air gets displaced like an umbrella type effect or a parachute effect off of the car, and there's a pocket of air behind a car ahead where that dirty air isn't. And you don't have resistance because the car ahead is punching the hole in the air for you, so you go quicker. So that's why cars in the slipstream will go quicker behind, and that's why you see other cars tuck in behind those to gain some extra top speed. For the lap to actually happen, you need to go a full circle and no more. So start and finish should be the same, no? Well. Yeah, sorry, I'm saying about the actual start of the race. So when it comes to actual quali laps, yes, this is the start and the finish. But when you start the race, when they grid up tomorrow, they'll be gridding up. P1 will be up here. So I think when you look at the TV coverage, the red flag comes out when he's like approaching the start of the race, you know, like where they line up on the grid. Either way, it's so close. But I think... I mean, yeah, we saw it there. I think he's across the line. So, you feel every time you wear that shirt, Ferrari have a bad weekend. I've worn it twice. I wore it in Miami and I wore it here. Although I am 2 for 2. So 100% record at the moment of Ferrari not doing well when I wear this shirt. So, thank you, Billy. Yeah, look, we're all the night bot is here to try and keep chat civil. That's also we've built a great community here, and that's primarily what it's there for. So, what do you mean, moment? I need. It means I have no idea because of Asia time. It's all good. We don't know at the moment, so we have no idea when Q2 will be back underway. So it's been delayed. It was initially going to start at 1:45 the hour, but it's now been delayed. So, oh no, here we go. Right on cue. Right on cue. 16:58, so you're talking less than 6 minutes, 5 minutes basically. Plenty of time to go have a toilet break, top up your drink, which I think I'll be doing both, to be honest with you, before Q2 resumes. How much time is in Q2? 15 minutes. You can see here at the top left hand side of your screen, 15 minutes. That is the timer. Aston Martin's upgrade working? Technically no, I guess, because Alonso doesn't have the update on his car. Lance Stroll has the update on his car. So we'll see. And Pensaresso, I appreciate the sentiments, but yeah, don't put that without caps and you'll be fine. Is the reason Q2 is delayed because of Behrman's lap? They did something similar, I think, with Albon. Potentially, yes, it could be, actually. Yeah, it could be because of that. That's a fair point. I thought maybe it's because of the barrier. But yeah, that's probably why. They're probably investigating Behrman to ensure he can actually be involved. We'll keep an eye on the table. If he's through, then we will find out. He no doubt will go up to where he initially qualified. So, you have a feeling there's going to be another red flag? We'll see. Don't wear this shirt tomorrow. I won't wear this shirt tomorrow, guys. A friend from the future told you Colapinto will crash and Charles Leclerc World Drivers' Championship in 2028. Oh, we've got a long way to wait for Charles Leclerc to be world champion then. Actually, I don't think it is the most red flag session this year. We had that in Suzuka, didn't we? Wasn't that FP3, wasn't it? Maybe get a Max Kappa or McLaren shirt. I just don't like the McLaren merch. I don't really look that good in orange or papaya. It was way past the line before the red flag and the replay. Yeah, I mean, we just looked at it on screen, and this is live data transferred from the cars, from their on-board transponders. So, looking at it, he was across the line. So, I don't have anything that far back, Rue. No, unfortunately. I do have a Mercedes top. I do have a Mercedes one. So... But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Right, I'm going to have a quick loo break. I suggest you guys do the same, whatever you need to do. We have 3 minutes until the session resumes. They're investigating Ollie Behrman. We don't know if he's going to be back into Q2 or make it through to Q2. I think he should be. I think he should be reinstated. It's a shame for Bortoletto, but Behrman did cross that line according to the data here. So we will see. But quick loo break for myself. I suggest you guys top up your drinks as well because Q2 is about to get underway. Oh, what's happening? I can hear Bortoletto is at the end of the pit lane. Look at that. Bortoletto is at the end of the pit lane, but Behrman is not leaving his car. Drama here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what if Bortoletto is not actually through to Q2? Do they have to wheel him back down the pit lane? They have to wheel... What? They're still deciding on this, guys, by the way. They're still deciding on this. I did make myself a drink, yeah. Another one. All this drama. Let's hope tomorrow keeps the same energy. Well, regardless, I will do my best to provide the energy, guys, as I always do. So, yes. But we are waiting for Q2 to resume. Supposedly, it is going to resume any second now. And then... we're about to find out whether Ollie Behrman has actually been promoted or not. I'm not sure this is going to get back underway. It is green light. So Behrman is not through. Behrman is not through. That is bizarre. That is bizarre. I'm surprised by that. I'm very surprised. I mean, I'd be very, very upset if I was Haas and Ollie Behrman, to be honest with you. I mean, we saw it on the live data here. He crossed that line. It's close, but he crossed that line when the red flag was called out for Colapinto's crash. So, is this an alcoholic drink? It is. It is a rum and coke. No, sorry, not rum and coke. Rum and lemonade. So Q2 is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Q2 is underway. So will we see any more red flags? Who knows? Of course, where if you're just tuning in, we had a couple of postponements here in Q1 due to a crash from Yuki Tsunoda. A very big crash that sent his car into a barrel roll, but he is safe and sound, which is why he is down in P20. We also then had a crash from Colapinto in the closing stages of Q1, which brought out a very late red flag, which hampered a number of drivers' lap times, particularly Liam Lawson and, well, Ollie Behrman as well, who has been deemed to not have crossed the start-finish line by the time the red flag came out. But we looked at the data and, well, I think he's been hard done by there. I'm not sure what F1 has available to them, which is saying to the contrary, but Ollie Behrman unfortunately didn't cross that start-finish line to complete his lap when that red flag came out. So it was really harsh because that lap was more than enough for him to get through to Q2. So real shame there for Ollie Behrman and for Haas. No doubt that will still be a talking point once this session is over and done with. But let's stay on board with Bortoleto. He's the first driver out there to set a lap. He is the beneficiary of Ollie Behrman not getting removed because of that red flag there. So Bortoleto, can he capitalise on this and can he qualify any higher? If he does, and well, it's going to be even more messy, I guess, when the qualifying is over and done with when it comes to Haas. But here we go. Bortoleto is purple, of course, in the first and second sector because he's the only driver to be on a flying lap thus at the moment. But Bortoleto, where is he as it currently stands? Well, he's 8th fastest in the first sector. Actually, no, that's his sector from previously. He's not going particularly quick. He's on a set of used tyres. As you can see, Max Verstappen there, a 24.0 from him. And, well, that's a little bit off the pace there for Max Verstappen. That's very interesting. The track temperature has increased around 3 degrees. And we mentioned this earlier on in practice, how the track temperature fluctuating quite dramatically here when the sun goes behind the clouds. We have intermittent weather, I guess, to an extent. It's overcast, and when that sun is out, the track temperature increases quite dramatically, and when it goes behind the clouds, it reduces dramatically as well by something around 6 to 7 degrees. It's really, really wide margins here, as you can see. Charles Leclerc, a 24.0 from him in the first sector. Much better from the two Ferraris, a 24.1 for Lewis as well. But you can see there, Lance Stroll, a 24.0 from him. Lance Stroll for pole position, maybe. Or Isaac Hadjar. Let's see, Max Verstappen, he goes to the top of the timing screens, though, with a 15.4. Lando Norris is dramatically slowing down there to allow Lance Stroll through as he starts his lap. But Lance Stroll not going to get provisional pole at the top of the timing screens here. He will go P2, 7.5 tenths back. Oh my God, he lost half a second in the last sector there. That is tremendous loss of time for Lance Stroll with those new updates on the Aston Martin. And Alonso putting Stroll to shame with the old Aston Martin, which we know isn't a particularly quick car anyway, as Leclerc, much better improvement from him in this Q2 session as he goes 2 tenths back from Verstappen. Hamilton, where can he go? He goes 3rd fastest, a little bit off of his teammate, lost a bit of time in the first and last sector, quicker in the middle sector, but that first and last sector cost him a bit there. How about Isaac Hadjar? He's been strong here. His teammate has gone out in Q1 due to that late red flag, and Hadjar, well, P4 for him at the moment, putting himself ahead of the Aston Martins. Maybe another surprise for Hadjar getting into Q3. As Russell, 9th fastest at this moment in time. Well, we get to set a lap time at the moment. He's gone purple in the first sector as Norris goes purple in the second sector. Russell, the only driver to go sub 24 seconds in the first sector as his teammate goes P6. Antonelli at his home circuit. He seemed to be struggling here a bit this weekend, but that was on significantly older tyres, used tyres, as Russell loses a bit of time as the lap progresses there and goes into P2, 1.5 tenths back. How about Carlos Sainz? He's starting his lap. We'll see how he gets on, as well as Alex Albon, who is approaching the last corner. But Norris coming across the start-finish line there, and he goes fastest. 1 and a bit tenths quicker than Max Verstappen. Oscar Piastri is on a lap at the moment. He is ahead of his teammates, nearly a tenth quicker in that first sector as he heads through Aqua Minerale, where he has had a bit of struggles here thus far on his push laps. this weekend, but no such issue there as he goes purple in the middle sector, taking it away from his teammate Lando, and Oscar Piastri is with a good last couple of corners, should be going to the top of the timing screens as we kind of expected the McLarens to be fighting out for pole position. We've just got him to keep an eye on at the moment. Carlos Sainz also on a flying lap. We'll see how the Williams driver does as Albon went into P11. Not a good lap time from him as Piastri does stick to hundredths of a second on his teammate there. The difference primarily being that second sector time and the first sector time. Norris slightly has the better of his teammate in the last sector. So very close between the two teammates once again. But Carlos Sainz, let's see how he can get on. He's gone well here in the past. Carlos Sainz, a 24.0 in the first sector, a 26.2 in the second sector. And where is this going to put Carlos Sainz? That Williams, it seems to be quicker in the first two sectors than it is in the last sector. And that kind of shows right there a very slow last sector for the Williams of Carlos Sainz, only in P9. Fernando Alonso doing God's work at the moment, by the way, putting that Aston Martin into Q3 as it currently stands. And, well, that is it for the drivers at the moment as, well, there is still going to be a switch up of positions here, ladies and gentlemen, because everyone, other than the two McLarens, have set times here. Other than Piastri, Norris and Verstappen, everyone set times on used tyres. And the Aston Martins as well. So still going to be a lot of switch up here of positions in the final run in Q2. We have 8 minutes remaining. Antonelli, do expect improvements from Antonelli as well, as he was on considerably used tyres there. You can see 7-lap old tyres compared to everyone else around him. That is the most usage of tyres. So, yeah, still a lot to be considered here, guys. Still a lot to be considered. Piastri will probably get pole. It's close. It's close. He was at the top of your predictions, ladies and gentlemen, when it came to our poll for pole position, and he had the overwhelming vote of 42%. So I'm watching Alex Albon's on board. What happened to him? And Albon had... Albon considerably slow. Why he's down in 13th is he had a big snap oversteer on the exit of the chicane. He did very well to control the car. Tokyo Drift looks very stylish on camera, but not what you need to go quick in an F1 car. So Alex Albon, improvements to be made for him, as he was a bit too aggressive over that chicane in turn 14 and 15. Let's go, Alonso. Appreciate the energy of my commentary and also the variety and timelines of the information you provide. Thank you, Critical Thoughts. I'm really good. Great commentary, knowledgeable tonight. Keep the compliments coming, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. I love doing this. I love providing you guys the commentary, and you seem to enjoy it as well. So if you are enjoying it, and I sound like a broken record, but trust me, likes really do. I know it's quite an arbitrary thing, but likes do actually push the stream and help continue to build this great community that we've got here, and provide and keeps me providing the content for you all. So yeah, thank you guys. Seeing Max this quality, it seems he has a better chance of pole than ever. I still think he's going to fall just a bit short. I'm hoping he does get pole because it will provide us a much better race tomorrow. That's my outlook. So his race calling improves the more we pump his ego. Well, I am actively seeking partnerships and sponsors and so forth to try and make this a full-time gig. So that if you guys have contacts in any companies or whatever, anyone would be interested, my business email is in the description below. So yeah, feel free to get in touch because I'd love to do this full-time for you all and bring you plenty more content and live streams moving forward. So. Sat on the kids' play part, missing out, watching on the telly. You're just as correct. Thank you, Scott. Much appreciated. Who do I think is going to get pole today? Who do I think is going to get pole? I'm hoping for Max to get pole. I'm thinking... My head says Piastri again. My head says Piastri, but I want Max because it will give us a better race tomorrow. Imola is always generally quite boring. I just think the Red Bull over race trim is not as quick as the McLaren. My reasons for this is that they just suffer when it comes to the temperature of their tyres. McLaren are supreme in that sense. And there will come a point in tomorrow's race where there will be a crossover period of the Red Bull's tyres starting to fall off. And the McLarens will still be very good. And that will provide us a better race, close racing. Whereas if Max is behind the McLarens, I think the McLarens will just drive off into the distance, similar to Miami, and there'll just be a considerable advantage between the two of them. So, on the rest of the field. Then you said the goal is commentating for F1 officially. I'd love that. The goal isn't to commentate for F1 officially. It isn't the goal. I love what I do here. I'd love to be able to have the freedom to be a content creator full-time. That's the main goal. But if an opportunity was presented to me to commentate for F1 officially, I'd seriously consider it. Of course I would, because it's what I'm passionate about. And look, I think everyone's dream in life is to have a job that they enjoy, ultimately, and something that they're really passionate about. And yeah, that'd be absolutely amazing. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's the goal. The goal was to do this full-time. So why is everyone in the pits? Everyone's in the pits because they are prepping for this last lap. And as you can see, brand new tyres on Isaac Hadjar, brand new tyres on Lewis Hamilton, brand new tyres on Bortoletto. And what's interesting is we've only seen Alonso and Stroll use the medium compound tyres at all in this qualifying session. We did think that maybe the medium compound tyre would be used this qualifying, but we haven't seen it at all. So maybe they're holding it back for Q3, we'll see. But it seems like they're able to kind of eke out those soft compound tyres at the moment, so we'll see. But everyone out on new tyres at the moment. This is where things get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. What's wrong with my old job? My current job is okay, but I'm not passionate about surveying and construction, with due respect. I don't mind it, but this is what I'm passionate about, you know? So, right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Let's see what they can do. Bortoletto, of course, very fortunate to get through to Q2 in the first instance because of Ollie Behrman, who we do believe has been unjustifiably removed from Q2 because he's been deemed not to cross the start-finish line when that red flag was called, but we think otherwise as per the data we have available to us. But Bortoletto trying to take full advantage of that. It's not his fault. So let's see how the Stake F1 Stake F1 driver can do. He's had a few poor performances recently, maybe not so much due to himself, but due to the poor performance of the Stake F1 car, of course, to become Audi next season. Let's see how he gets on. Let's see how Isaac Hadjar can do as well, who's not that far behind in P7. Can he make it through to Q3 once again and continue the great start to the season that he's currently had over a quarter of the way through we are now of this 24 race season? Bortoletto improving there. Green sector, green numbers mean they've improved. Yellow numbers mean they haven't improved on their best time, but that doesn't mean that they're particularly slower than those behind them, as you can see there. Lewis Hamilton improving, a 24.0 flat from him, and Antonelli a 24.0 flat from him as well. Let's see how Antonelli gets on, but Bortoletto will be the first driver to cross the start-finish line, and let's see how he gets on. Green, he is improving here, and not unsurprisingly so, as his first time wasn't particularly great on those considerably used tyres. He comes across the start-finish line, and he only puts himself P12, so it will be no Q3 for Bortoletto, but he is hoping he can nab a few positions there, as he's currently in P12. How about Isaac Hadjar? Can he solidify himself into Q3? Well, that's a fair effort because he's up into P4, but Russell is improving, a 23.8 from him, as is Max Verstappen. So, some good first sector times from them, as Piastri and Norris are still on their outlaps. I think they feel comfortable that they're going to get through to Q3, as Sainz is gone quickest in the first sector, a 23.6 for Carlos Sainz. That's an unbelievable first sector from him. 2 tenths quicker than the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Pierre Gasly is starting his lap. We'll see how he gets on. Albon also significantly quicker than that of Verstappen and Russell in the first sector. Those Williams flying at the moment, but have they taken too much life out of those soft compound tyres in the first sector? Of course, these C6 tyres, very susceptible to the temperatures here at Imola. Russell across the line, and he goes P3. He does improve, less than a tenth behind Oscar Piastri. How about Max Verstappen, though? Max Verstappen is slower in the middle sector. He's lost a bit of time in that middle sector, and it's not an improvement. It is an improvement for Max Verstappen, but it's only good enough for P4, but that should see him through comfortably into Q3. How about Carlos Sainz? He's lost a bit of time in the middle sector, a 26.1, and well, he goes to the top of the timing screens because of that purple first sector. The checkered flag has been thrown. How about Alex Albon? He needs a good last sector here from Alex Albon to get to Q3, and he's up into P7. Antonelli at risk of going out here, as Alonso and Stroll are going quite quick in the first sector, have gone very quick in the first sector. Lewis Hamilton is potentially at risk. Is Lewis Hamilton at risk? No, Lewis Hamilton's at risk. I'll tell you what, Lewis Hamilton is definitely at risk as Gasly is improving. He's got just the start-finish line to cross, and he goes into P6. Hamilton at risk. Antonelli is out of Q2. That is for sure. He's not making it into Q3. It's his home race. Lance Stroll could be pushing Lewis Hamilton out. He's green in the first sector, green in the second. He does. Lewis Hamilton is out as it currently stands, and he is out. Lewis Hamilton, it could be a double elimination for Ferrari. Oh my God! Ferrari out of Q2. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I have brought them the complete opposite when it comes to luck here at Imola, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, because we have a Q2 elimination for Ferrari. 11th, Charles Leclerc. 12th, Lewis Hamilton. Antonelli 13th, Bortoletto 14th, and Colapinto 15th. Aston Martin have a double Q3. I'll be back. Hang on. I'll be back. Hang on. Come on, Mercedes. Come on, George. Come on, Russell. I'm sorry, Russell fans. I've jinxed him already. Oh my goodness, let's have a rundown of that session, shall we? Well, Carlos Sainz P1, Oscar Piastri P2, Lando Norris P3. The McLarens did not go out and run another lap time. George Russell P4, Verstappen P5. A double Q3 for Aston Martin. Unbelievable there. One with the updates, one without. That's superb for them. On the mediums. They did that lap time on the mediums. I completely missed that. So, will we see the medium compound tyre used in this last run as Q3 will start at 17:21? We can see, but we have Gasly in P8. I predicted Gasly would get into Q3. Isaac Hadjar, another Q3 for Isaac Hadjar. Brilliant performance from him. And Albon getting into Q3 as well. But a double Q2 elimination for Leclerc and Hamilton. Ferrari, unbelievable there. Antonelli in P13. Bortoletto in 14th, and Colapinto we know was already out because of that crash in Q1. So, yeah. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that I... What is it? Why am I bringing bad luck to Ferrari? Honestly. I betrayed Ferrari quicker than Red Bull trusted Lawson. Come on, Mercedes. If you wear that t-shirt again, you're not watching my stream anymore. I know. I'm sorry. I'm really bringing them bad luck with that shirt. I really like that shirt as well, so... Oh, God. Well, yeah. That is a very, very shocking performance there from Ferrari. Why did they not set another lap? I need to see what occurred. In all of that, I completely missed what happened with Ferrari. Let me see what actually happens. It's very bizarre right now. There's Matt and Tommy's viewership just spiked, by the way, because people want to see, obviously, his reaction. Right, let's have a look. So, Hamilton and Leclerc, what were they doing? Did they just back out of their lap? It's very odd what they did. Or did they just not set a quick enough lap? Lewis was going quicker. 26.3 in the middle sector, 26.1 for Leclerc in the middle sector. And they just didn't go quick enough. They didn't improve. Wow. Lewis Hamilton, a 25.5 from him in the last sector. Charles Leclerc had a 25.6. Both Ferraris had 20. Oh my goodness. They had 25. They lost half a second in the last sector. Oh, wow. What happened to the two Ferraris? So let's have a look at the sector times there, shall we? Let's have a look at the sector times. And, well, in the last sector, I mean, this is the fastest sector times they've set today, by the way. This isn't just in their last run. So Hamilton, I mean, they set 25.5, 25.6 for both of them. So I'm watching the onboards, actually, of Charles Leclerc. And it was the chicane. Watching Lewis Hamilton's second sector time. What happened to Lewis? Toza. So Lewis had an issue through turn 7, and Charles had a very poor chicane. So yeah, very, very poor sectors from both of them there. Of course, that then snowballed for Lewis Hamilton because of that poor second sector. That snowballed with his tyres, and he had a poor last sector to follow that up. So yeah, really shame. Seeing Stroll fastest in sector is bonkers. I know. Well, interestingly, they've got through there, the Aston Martins, by using the medium compound tyre. Now, will that come to bite them on their behind tomorrow when it comes to the race? Potentially. But primarily, it's got them through to Q3, and it's got them track position over their rivals at a circuit where it's difficult to overtake. So, interesting. Do we think this ground effect rules are a bit of a nonsense, not really delivering? I'm kind of missing the older aero. Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the cars are too heavy, they're too big, they throw off too much. The problem is the FIA haven't done what they said they would do. They said when they initially started this set of regulations that they would stop the overdevelopment of the cars. They would stop, like what happens for every regulation set, where the aero becomes too intricate, too overdeveloped, and starts throwing off lots of dirty air. And they've just allowed the teams to get away with it. They haven't clamped down on it, which is why we've now got to the closest the cars have been in performance in clean air when it comes to qualifying, which is why qualifying is so close. But when it comes to actual racing, it's very difficult because of how much dirty air is thrown off. So that's why, primarily. So it sits with the FIA, not with the teams. Betnui dropped notes in the vicinity of the McLaren garage, maybe already started at Aston. FIA incompetence? Say it ain't so. I know. But here we go, guys. Q3 is underway. Less than 12 minutes to find out who's going to be on pole position. Remember, last time you guys said it would be Oscar Piastri. Let me know in chat right now. Who's going to be on pole position? Let me know. Is it Piastri? Do you still think he'll be on pole position? Do you think it's going to be Lando Norris? Do you think it will be Max Verstappen? Will it be Sainz? Will we have a shocker here? Let's see. Let me know in the chat, guys. Who do you think is going to be on pole position? Hit that like button. We're nearly at 1,000 likes, by the way. If you can hit that like button, it'd be much appreciated. I know, the Ferrari shirt was a curse. Difficult job tomorrow for Ferrari engineers. I know. Stroll. Sainz, Max, Norris, Alonso. Varying assessments here, guys. Varying assessments. Well, interesting that Alonso and Stroll are out there on the soft compound tyres. I guess they're not going to go use any more mediums because they'll need to save that for the race tomorrow. But primarily, Aston Martin have done what they needed to do, which was get into Q3 in the first place. So let's see how they do. Can they be the best of the rest? You do suspect that with a great performance from Sainz last time around, that Williams will be fighting up there. I did say that I think that the McLarens will lock out the front row and maybe we'll see a shocker in the top 5, but Let's see. Max Verstappen out there, I think, on a set of new tyres as well. So interesting there that Verstappen, the McLarens and Max do have a brand new set of softs available to them, as do the Aston Martins as well, as they used the mediums twice in this session in Q1 and in Q2. They've used it twice over the duration of this qualifying session. So we'll see if they maybe try that again in Q3, because it might gain them a few extra positions. What if you could not start with the harder tyres than the ones you did in your last quali run? Not quite sure I understand it. Yeah, Alonso is still in there, probably jinxing by simply noticing. Given all I see is Nightbot commenting rubbish. Anyone from the top 5 is all good for pole. Well, let's see, guys. Let's see. So Lance Stroll is out there first, setting a lap. Let's see how he gets on with Alonso not far behind. The two Aston Martins. Lance Stroll has the updates on his car compared to Alonso, who has outperformed Stroll thus far, showcasing that he's still a better driver than his younger teammate. But Lance Stroll, a 23.988. Anything sub 24 is good for the Aston Martins, that is for sure. Alonso having to navigate his way past Gasly, does a 24.0, slightly behind his teammate through that first sector. We'll see how they navigate through their way through Acqua Minerale into the sharp braking zone of turn 12, up the hill through turn 13, up to Variante Alta, the chicane, which is very difficult to navigate through. A 26.187 for him, not particularly quick in that middle sector. Lando Norris does a 23.907. Not particularly that quick. We've seen a 23.6 from Verstappen earlier on. We'll see if Verstappen is able to improve on that, as he is making his way down to turn 2 as we speak. Oscar Piastri does a 23.763 and dunks 2 tenths on his teammate in the first sector. Lance Stroll does a 115.7 in overall. What can his teammate do? Fernando Alonso, he is slightly behind his teammate as it currently stands. Has he had a better last sector? No. Only 0.08 of a second separating the two Aston Martin drivers, but good showing from them two. How about Isaac Hadjar? Isaac Hadjar is behind the two Aston Martin drivers at the moment, but he is on a set of used tyres. He crosses the line and still beats the Aston Martin drivers on a set of used tyres. But how about Lando Norris? What lap time is he going to set? No doubt he's going to go into the top to the timing screens. And he's the first driver to set a time sub 1:15 seconds with a purple last sector. But Oscar Piastri has gone purple in the middle sector. He's quicker in the first sector than his teammate, but Verstappen's going quicker than both the McLaren drivers as it currently stands. Piastri comes across the finish line and he goes provisional pole by 1.5 tenths over his teammate. But what about Max Verstappen? This is the first run in Q3. We will have another. And well, Max Verstappen is purple in the first sector. He's quicker than it's neck and neck actually between Verstappen and Piastri as it currently stands. And well, it's all about this last sector, and Verstappen goes provisional pole by 500ths of a second pretty much. But keep an eye out on George Russell, ladies and gentlemen, as George Russell had a mega first sector. He's lost a bit of time in the middle, but this last sector from the Mercedes of George Russell, Mr. Saturday, puts him P4. He lost a bit of time in that last sector, but how is Pierre Gasly getting on? So at the moment it's provisional pole from Max Verstappen, Piastri P2, Norris P3. Pierre Gasly, he's looking to improve here. Of course, the Sainz has had a bit of a poor middle sector, unfortunately, there. He might be held up here a little bit by Isaac Hadjar as he heads through the chicane. A 26.3 from Carlos Sainz. It was a mega middle first sector from Sainz and Alex Albon, but they've lost a bit of time as the lap has gone on. Albon goes up into P8. Sainz is probably going to get ahead of Pierre Gasly here, and he does as he goes into P8. And well, Isaac Hadjar is in P5 as it currently stands. The Aston Martins P6 and P7, Sainz P8, Albon P9, and Gasly in P10. But it is Verstappen at the moment who is on provisional pole by 0.05 of a second. Lando Norris needs to sort out that first sector. He's losing sufficient time in that first sector to Verstappen and Piastri. He is basically 2 tenths behind Verstappen as it currently stands. And I'll tell you what, give me this lineup for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, because I think this will be perfect for our race tomorrow. It'll be perfect for this race tomorrow. That's just my personal opinion, but yes. Are you able to upload my own F1 race soon? Yeah, I will be soon. Yeah, I will be streaming more soon, Zippy, for sure. That is my plan. That is my plan. I've moved the sim rig. All the setup is moved. I will be doing more sim racing moving forward. So, What's that? Hadjar should be able to find more. Maybe. Wait for the mediums to go on. It's the tyre. Second run will be quicker, but there could be a flag. Yes. Alonso and Stroll, 6th and 7th, I know, at the moment. But Oscar Piastri, it's very close between them. It is very close between them all. So Max Verstappen just pipping the Piastri. They're just losing a bit of time in that middle sector. That first sector. That's where the difference is. Verstappen has been very quick in that first sector. But for me, I said at the start, I want Max on pole because I think this will provide us the best race tomorrow. If the McLarens lock out the front row, I don't have that. My expectations will be even lower for the race tomorrow, but we'll see. George Russell P4. I'm not jinxing him yet, am I? Not jinxing him yet, guys. They're all good, Zippy. Yeah, all good. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. More sim content. It is coming, Waz. More sim content is back on the way. Of course, the sim content has been few and far between, kind of non-existent recently because of I was in the little one's room and I was at her behest, especially when she goes to sleep. So now I'm in. We've changed everything around. I have the luxury to do more sim racing. So yes, it'll be returning, guys. But if you're enjoying these watch-alongs in the meantime, please hit the like button. We're nearly at 1,000 likes. Thank you very much. 12 members today. Of course, 10 of them gifted by yours truly. But yes, hope you are enjoying. We're back tomorrow, of course, for our pre-race show. We'll be live an hour before the race begins. Having a look at the strategy options for tomorrow. Strategy is going to be very key here, especially with these tyres. A step softer than last year. Of course, the longest pit lane on the calendar. That is going to play a factor into the strategy. We could potentially see a 2-stop tomorrow, which is very, very rare at Imola. And tyre management is going to be key tomorrow, but it does provide us with better racing. And well, if the grid lines up as it currently stands, I think we're in for a very good race. Of course, Ferrari, double elimination in Q2. Leclerc and Hamilton in 11th and 12th. Antonelli in P13 as well. We are not immune to safety cars here at Imola. Also, I believe the weather report is showing that it's going to be clear, but stay tuned for tomorrow for our pre-race show, an hour before we go live. And then, of course, we always stick around after the race ends to chat everything that has happened throughout the Grand Prix. But here we go. 2.5 minutes, just over 2.5 minutes remaining of this very extended qualifying session. We've had 2 red flags in Q1. We had the holding of the start of Q2 due to Ollie Behrman, who I think was unjustifiably removed from Q2 because they deemed he hadn't crossed the start-finish line when the red flag was thrown. That'll be a talking point once this session is over and done with. But we have one more lap here at the Imola circuit. Last qualifying session potentially for some time in Formula 1 here at Imola, as it is not going to be renewed after this year, if the rumours are to be believed. So these drivers at a proper driving circuit, what can they do? Piastri on a brand new set of softs. No doubt Norris will be so as well. Verstappen is following Lando Norris. He is on a brand new set of softs, as Isaac Hadjar is. Can Isaac Hadjar improve? There's quite a substantial gap at the moment. Hadjar did set his lap time on a set of used softs, so improvement to be had from Isaac Hadjar. Could he start on the second row tomorrow? Isaac Hadjar, the Frenchman, what a result that would be from him. You do suspect there is improvement from Sainz and Albon as well, as they both set their times on used tyres. As for Gasly, so this is a very interesting, and we've got Russell on a set of medium compound tyres. Oh wow, ladies and gentlemen, what could happen here? Mercedes trying something outside of the box, and could this be the decision that potentially gets George Russell a pole position? Stay tuned. This is very intriguing. We wondered if anyone would do it. Only Aston Martin have used this strategy thus far, and it's worked for them to get through each quali session at the end on their last lap. But let's see if it works for George Russell, as Piastri is on his lap at the moment. A 23.677 from Oscar Piastri, and well, that's not quite quicker than the fastest lap of first sector of Max Verstappen, but it's damn well close. Let's see how he gets on through sector 2. He's going to have a lot of traffic to contend with, though. As you can see, 5 cars separating him as he's gone purple in the middle sector, as Oscar Piastri is improving. These cars, though, are they going to get in his way? He's got Sainz, Russell, Gasly, Piastri, Alonso ahead of him, and they're really going to have to get out of his way, and Piastri might catch traffic at the wrong time here as George Russell slows down to allow Piastri through. Sainz also moves out of the way, as does Gasly, but how much has that affected Oscar Piastri here as he's full throttle to the finish line, and Piastri goes pole position of 14.6. He's put a 10th on Max Verstappen. But let's stay tuned with Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen, can he go even quicker in that first sector? He's been supreme all qualifying session here through this first sector as Lance Stroll moves up into P5 on that medium compound tyre. Yes, Verstappen goes 2 tenths quicker than Piastri in that first sector. How about Lando Norris? Lando Norris is currently 3 tenths back of Max Verstappen. It's all about this middle sector as Albon moves up into P5 and moves Lance Stroll down into P6. George Russell, let's keep an eye on George Russell as well on those medium compound tyres. He's going to be the last driver to cross the finish line. But Lando is slow in that middle sector. It's not going to be pole position at the moment for Lando Norris. And Verstappen's also slow as well. It's going to be very close between Piastri and Max Verstappen. That advantage he had in the first sector is dissipated in that middle sector as Lando can only stay P3. So Lando starting on the second row tomorrow. It's all about Max now. He's coming through the last corner. How is this last sector from Max Verstappen? It's neck and neck between Piastri and Verstappen as he heads his way to the finish line. No! It's 300ths of a second and George Russell is going quite nicely. No, George Russell is going okay. He's going okay. He could potentially pip Lando Norris as it currently stands as Gasly moves up into P9. George Russell, have those medium compound tyres lasted as Sainz moves up into P6. George Russell across the finish line. Can he pip Lando? He can! And it's a P3 for George Russell, but pole position for Oscar Piastri. A 14.6 to Max Verstappen's 14.7. George Russell is in P3. Lando Norris in P4. Fernando Alonso P5. Alonso P5. Carlos Sainz is P6. Alex Albon P7. Lance Stroll is in P8. Isaac Hadjar P9. Looks like Isaac Hadjar made a mistake on his flying lap, which is why he pitted early. Gasly in P10. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your top 10 for tomorrow. And well, guess who is starting on the inside line tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen? Oh yes, it is Max Verstappen starting on that inside line in P2 down into the second corner. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be blockbuster. Stay tuned for that first lap. Oh, it's definitely one you don't want to miss. Let's see what FIA thinks about a dive bomb tomorrow. I didn't jinx George. I didn't jinx him. It's just the Ferrari shirt that has a bit of a tainted... has a bit of a taint on it, so Max better push that papaya on the gravels. Revenge of the Max. Well, I tell you what, Lando Norris P4, 3 tenths back of his teammates. Lando Norris there. I don't know what happened with his lap. I don't know if he made a mistake or not, or if he wasn't at the races, but Piastri there in pole position to bag his 4th race win in a row. He's 5th of this year and continue to extend his championship lead over Lando Norris. Of course, Max Verstappen would close that gap to Lando and potentially overtake him if he finished in P2. Don't think so. That'd be very close. So yeah, wow. I need to bin the Ferrari shirt. I know. Wow. Let's have a swig. Let's have a rundown of this grid for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix tomorrow, guys. If you can hit that like button, it'd be much appreciated. Let's get this stream to 1,000 likes. Thank you. Let's go. Piastri, P1 by 300ths of a second, just over 300ths of a second to Max Verstappen. And I believe each pole position now, the gap from first to second, every pole position has been less than 1 tenth. That is how close pole position, the fight for pole position has been every single race weekend this season. Super close qualifying is now. George Russell in, Max Verstappen in P2. Russell is in P3 on the medium compound tyre. Maybe an absolute masterclass there from Mercedes to gain track position from Lando Norris to start on the second row. George Russell 1 and a bit tenths back from Piastri. That's not that far back. What, just over a tenth is not that far back from those front two, that's for sure. Lando Norris in P4 is starting on the inside line, but yes, with it being very tight here at Imola, he needs to make sure he gets past George Russell tomorrow to really try and minimise any damage, any points losses for tomorrow. Fernando Alonso, round of applause in the chat for Fernando Alonso. No updates on his car this weekend, I believe. From what I heard, the reports are true. If the reports are true, Alonso does not have the updates on the Aston Martin this weekend. It is Lance Stroll who has them, and he's just out-qualified Lance Stroll by 2 tenths and 3 positions. Well done, Fernando Alonso. He still has it. If he has a car underneath him, he could still fight for race wins, I'll tell you that now. I was watching Isaac Hadjar, and Isaac Hadjar had the same moment. Shame for Isaac Hadjar. He's fuming with himself, banging the steering wheel. As Lando Norris also had a moment through the first corner as well, and gathered too much curb, actually got airtime through the chicane, trying to gather back some time. So Lando Norris, a bit of a moment through the first corner for him as well, as he went through basically the gravel of... not too much of a moment, but went for the gravel with Isaac Hadjar, and he covered too much curb through the chicane, which lost him time as well as he's trying to recover that time. But Isaac Hadjar had the same moment that Colapinto did, but unlike Colapinto, where he kept his foot in it and he went into the barrier, Isaac Hadjar had the awareness to lift off the throttle. He controlled the car, but banged the steering wheel, of course, in frustration, as he qualified in P9. But Carlos Sainz in P6, Albon in P7. I think they'll be a bit disappointed, to be honest, the Williams drivers. I think they would have expected to at least knock out P5 and P6, especially heading into Q3 after the double elimination of Ferrari and Antonelli there, who we'll get to. So yeah, I think they'll be a bit disappointed, but it looks like they bowed out of their laps, I think, Sainz and Albon. I don't know why that was, but yeah, not very good last laps there. Stroll in P8. Good for Stroll, regardless, but he's in Q3. We don't often say that with the most Q1 eliminations in F1 history. Lance Stroll in Q3 is a sentence we don't normally string together. Isaac Hadjar, we mentioned in P9. Pierre Gasly, I expected better from him. Another driver who also had a moment, it seems, and had to bow out of his last flying lap in P10. Leclerc and Hamilton. I mean, Ferrari. What is going on at Ferrari, hey? What is going on at Ferrari? They have updates here this weekend, and they've just both gone out in Q2. We'll have a look at the sector times in just a second as we finish off the rundown of this grid. Antonelli in P13, not been a good weekend for him at his home circuit. Leaves 30 minutes down the road from Imola. Bortoletto in 14th. He has benefited from, really, Ollie Behrman not being able to make it through to Q2, which I do think is a bit unjust for Ollie. Colapinto, we have spoken about. He crashed at the end of Q1 and will start 15th at best tomorrow. Could be starting 16th because of leaving the pit lane too early, with that estimated time of resumption of Q1, not the official time. We saw George Russell get a penalty for that a few weeks ago, so I expect Colapinto will start 16th at best. And no doubt with that crash, he will start probably from the pit lane because of setup changes. Lawson, 16th, really unfortunate because of that late red flag from Colapinto, but arguably could have done a better lap prior to that. Hulkenberg 17th, Ocon 18th. Behrman, we mentioned, should have easily got through to Q2. He set a very good lap, but the red flag supposedly was called just as he hit the start-finish line. I don't agree with that. We looked at the data. He was ahead of it when the red flag was thrown. And Tsunoda brought out that first red flag after crashing into turn 5, and he will start, no doubt, from the pit lane tomorrow because his crash was dramatic, to say the least. And there we go, guys. That is your lineup for tomorrow. Of course, tune in an hour before the race begins to see exactly what the final grid is. Now, let's have a look at sector times and the sector leaderboard. Well, the sector leaderboard as it currently stands. Max Verstappen was fastest in the first sector, 23.4. Unbelievable first sector there. I mean, he dunked 4 tenths. 3 tenths pretty much on Lando Norris in that first sector alone. That is a tremendous amount. Considering there's only a couple of corners through that first sector, that is mega from Max Verstappen through that first sector. Carlos Sainz also super quick through that first sector as well. The Williams are going to be tricky to overtake by the teams behind in that first sector, the way they've got the car set up. Oscar Piastri quick in the middle sector, as was George Russell. Lando Norris quick in the last sector, but lost too much in that first sector for him really to have an opportunity of pushing for pole position. And there we go, guys. There we go. That is it because of the delay of this, I am now running late for my my drinks with my friends. So I am going to cut this a bit shorter than I would like to, but it's also gone longer than I would like to. So yes, thank you everyone for tuning in as always. Please continue to hit the like button. Let's get this stream to 1,000 likes. There's got to be 50 of you who haven't hit the like button yet. We'll be back tomorrow. You can head over and load up the race. And thank you for everyone tuning in on Twitch, by the way, as well. Thank you guys for tuning in on Twitch. We're nearly at 1,000 likes. You can do it. Let me get the stream up for tomorrow so you guys can. Let's grab it for you guys. Where is it? There we go. You can head over, bookmark the stream now, like it. There we go. There we go. Head on over there, guys. Thank you as always. Much appreciated. We will see you an hour before the race starts. I think I've got it set to an hour. If it's set at 45 minutes before, I'll be live earlier than that anyway. So, yes, be sure you got your notifications turned on. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday, and we will catch you tomorrow for the Imola Grand Prix. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. See you then. Bye.